Good morning all. So, over the last week and a half, I have been kind of just working on getting my DJI fleet of quads up and running. And it's a relatively extensive sort of range of aircraft. I've now got kind of like a 2-inch, 3 inches, a 4-inch. Oh, cracky, I don't know. I'm losing track of them. I've even got the big 10-inch over there that I've converted to DJI. Now, clearly that tells you something. I'm beginning to kind of shift my way across, and it's been a long curve to do that, but the problem is it just becomes too difficult to maintain both. So I'm kind of just gradually moving my fleet over to DJI, and well, HD's HD, isn't it? But that's by the by. What I wanted to tell you about is two of my more recent acquisitions. Well, one's an acquisition and one's a modification. So I'll start with the modification, and here we go. So this is a little CHIMERA Gecko, which I've just converted to DJI, and I was pleasantly surprised at how easy it was. You can kind of just see over here, you've got the Caddx flight stack sitting in the front of the Gecko. The camera fits up front, and I've got a little iFlight Success flight controller on here. It's only an F4, but no, I don't really need more on this. There's no GPS, there's no anything else. But yeah, so it kind of went together quite easily. Now, this is an old frame that I've had, which I used to have a split up front and some very ancient flight controller. And to be honest, it just never got the airtime. It kind of just... I think at the time I built it too cheap, to be honest. The components were not so good. I had some shoddy diatone motors. Possibly it was the guts from a Jep RC Sparrow that I pulled across. And they were never that brilliant. They were okay, but not brilliant. But so the result is I took the frame and I put some new motors on it, and I've built the thing up, and I'm kind of pleased with the result. It feels like one of the tidiest builds I've done, certainly in terms of the soldering and the fit inside. And the result seems quite good. The only thing I'm missing at the moment, you'll see I've got this horrible little linear antenna on the back, and that's only because I'm waiting for a new one to arrive to go on the back. And then I found a couple of parts on Thingiverse to hold the crossfire thing. This is an old antenna mount I designed, ooh crikey, back when I got it, and that holds that quite nicely. It looks quite decent. I've even hovered in the shed here, and it seems to hover. It goes forwards and backwards, so we'll see how that one handles quite soon. I'm looking forward to that. Now, on the other front, long-range toothpicking micro 4-inch quads. And wow, that is a lovely, lovely aircraft. Now, this is the iFlight Chimera, which I recently got hold of. And I flew it for the first time yesterday. Very similar configuration. You've got a flight controller and a VTX. In this case, is a little GPS at the back and the full camera up front. But what's quite interesting, that's a 3-inch, that's a 4-inch. I reckon, just straight off the cuff, I don't have a scale here, there's probably half the weight compared to that. And the results really do show. So there's a big difference between these quads. This is a 3-inch that weighs more than a 4-inch. And that only equates to one thing, longer flight times. And my word, does it please. So this one, fantastic, true basher. I can fly it into brick walls, everything, it will survive. But that's what the Omatan's all about. But this one, this kind of just does what I like. And I guess when I say what I like, I love non-aggressive cruising when I'm flying. You probably noticed that from my footage. I tend to do long sweeping movements, the odd loop, the odd roll. I'm not really into, I can take gaps, I can do things, but I'm not, well, a mate of mine, Andy, says I'm not into the flippy flappy stuff, and that kind of sums it all up. But yeah, this is a lovely quad, the iFlight Chimera. I actually eventually bought one just because I was so tired of waiting for Banggood to ship the Flywoo Explorer, which I've had sitting on pre-order for 2 months, and bang rubbish, isn't it? Just you don't hear from them. You try and contact them about it, you don't hear. And I've got no doubt it will eventually arrive, but for now, I don't know. So I wanted my fix. And yesterday, I got out flying this. It was fantastic. I have flown it with my typical, one of those little 4S 850s, which is very sprightly. It just makes a superb little aircraft. And on the other hand, I've also tried with one of these, which is a 3,500 milliamp lithium ion pack. Now, I can tell you that after about, I haven't measured it the whole flight because I didn't fly the entire length of the pack. But after about 7 minutes, I had drawn 1,000 milliamps. Now, by rough figures, so 7 times 3, 21 to 25 minutes maybe I could get out of that pack. And that's pretty decent. The funny thing is, when I plug this pack on, you'd think, oh crikey, it's additional weight. But actually the only end result to it, it feels more like I'm flying my 10-inch or my 7-inch because it's got a little bit of mass in terms of power to weight ratio. So I can't complain too much. It means this is kind of just a pocket long range quad, which if I pair it up with my Tango 2 down there, it kind of just is the ideal chuck it in the bag and go frame. And yeah, the results are quite good. But hey, enough nattering. I've got a tiny little bit of footage which I took yesterday when I was flying with this. It's not the most amazing footage because at the end of the day it was just a big field and I was cruising around and going through the odd power line and things like that. Nothing to write home about, but I thought I would give you a quick preview of that, and I'm certain that the Chimera is going to be flown a whole lot more. Anyway guys, enjoy your weekend, have fun, we'll chat soon. Cheers.